Okay, so this one's really quick. So I am at the lakeside and I'm just realizing more and more stuff about me. I spent 10 days regulating, not, you know, in stressful environments, and I realized this is not the life I want. I want a regulated life, but I want agency, I want movement. I feel restless right now, and so that's good. Um, my mind is never still. Whenever I have nothing to do, my mind just daydreams to fill the gap. And I maladaptive daydream. In my maladaptive daydreams, I'm always creating. I'm always a president creating this country. And so it just made me realize that I love to create. I love to build. I want to do that. So I am in the stage right now where I'm trying to really work on channeling my maladaptive daydreaming into actually building and creating. It doesn't have to be anything big, just something small that can fulfill me. And then my daydreaming, two different things, but I am channeling that because I don't want it to take over my life where I'm just idle and I just daydream. I need a container, so I am going back to book reading, and so I will daydream and fantasize in my book reading. Once I'm done reading the book, I will be done fantasizing because I still want to be creative and I want to daydream and fantasize. I want to keep my child imagination alive. I just want to contain it to where it's not like taking over my whole life. So those are two things that I learned today, and I'm very happy with the progress of my healing I'm making. And I realize another part of my personality, but I want to be an independent person. Before I was very independent because I had to be. It was like a survival mode independence, but inside I was always just waiting for someone to save me. And now I want grounded independence where I am okay with my life. I go out and do things. Like, I want to actually be okay with being independent. And so I am working towards actually being independent because I guess I've never been independent. Like, physically it was independent, but internally it was never. And I would always tell people I'm a dependent person, but like now I want to internally be independent, which is good. And then also I was watching some family friends that I saw on Facebook, and they're all younger than me. We're like 4 or 5 years younger than me, and they're all getting married, living this good life, engaged. And I felt so jealous, and I felt like compared my life, and I'm just like, I am still paycheck to paycheck. I am crying about paying rent, asking my siblings to help me every once in a while, and I'm just like, my life is crap. And I was like, felt really sad, but now I'm like, I am taking the hard path, and I'm not trying to say that they took the easy path, but for me, I am going through this healing journey. I'm facing all of my fears. I am digging and going back to childhood, just crazy, hurtful, like pain. And I'm just like going through that healing and releasing it and just facing it dead on. And I know that the life I want is on the other side of my healing. And so right now, my life is crap. Yeah, it's gonna be that. I'm in my construction era. Like, I bulldozed down everything, and trying to, I'm just trying to get my foundation. So, it takes a while, and so I'm 27, paycheck to paycheck, asking for rent money, and my 18 and 19-year-old like family friend members are, they grew up with 2-parent households, and they are doing amazing, getting married, and it's crazy, and it really makes me feel like that I am just very behind in life. But it's just like, I'm on a different path. And I don't tell myself this to make myself feel better, because it's not. But I don't want marriage and kids to be my end all be all. And yeah, it's easy to say that when you don't have any prospects, but it's just like I'm glad I don't, because I'm growing into who I am. I'm figuring out what my actual personality is. Most people already know that. I don't know who I am yet. I'm growing into it. I'm healing into it, but I what was I about to say? Oh, like, so, like, for more, for traditional people, marriage and kids is like the beginning of the end. Not really, but it's like you get married, you have your kids, and then you live your life for your kids and your marriage, and you give to that, and you are selfless. And I don't want that, you know. I maybe in my 35, 40s, I get married and have kids, but I don't want that to be my life. I want to heal, and I want to create something, and I want a free, fulfilling life. And that's where I am moving towards. So I feel like in order to get that, I have to work through myself. I have to heal, and then I will heal into the life that I'm meant to have, which is that life. It's different from marriage and kids. It's not a better life. Like marriage and kids is such a fulfilling life, but for me, it just feels like I'm learning who I am. I don't want to give that up, and it's just like it's like to me it's like scarcity mindset. So it's like I am like giving to a man, giving to kids, and it's just like I want to keep all my energy for me. I have like the trauma mindset where giving is like, okay, well now I have less because I just gave it to you. I am not fulfilled, grounded as a person where I can just keep giving. I'm not there. So that's the life I want, and so that life's a little bit harder, because you know I have to go through, and it's no excuse for like how I lived of, you know, not really doing anything for myself, and not finishing college and stuff. It's no excuse, but I've figured out the path that I want, and it's not finding a husband, going on dating sites, or, you know, getting kids and building a life together. My friend was like, you know, a lot of guys don't want a put together girl. They want a girl they can build with. And I'm just like, I want to be put together 100%. I want to know who I am 100%. And I want to live in my truth, in my personality, in my character, and have a really good, free, low stress, low responsibility, like single life, and then a life. And then when I'm 30, 35, and I've lived, then I want to have kids, settle down, and close out my life as a family. But I want to have a really, really good single life, a life that I live for myself. So it's different. It's always going to look different. And so I'm happy. The journey, it's a slow journey. It's so slow. And I was telling my sister, I left the home when I was 19. I'm 27. Past 8 years, I've been unstable, paycheck to paycheck, survival mode, shut down. And like this year, like my New Year's resolution is to be stable. So last year was the first time, or like this apartment is the first apartment I've been here for 18 months. So I've been stable with a roof over my head. Usually I move around every 6 months. And then this job, I'm almost here for a year. I've never been at a job for a year, and I've been 27. I'm 27, and so this job I started June 16th, and it's February. It's about to be March, April, May, June. So I'm 3 months from a year, and so I've been at this job for almost a year, which is crazy. It was so crazy. I did my tax returns, and I filed one W-2 form, and I was just like, this is my first time ever doing that. I usually have like 4. Literally 4 or 5. So I am happy. It's very, very slow progress. Last year, my nervous system was that of a 12-year-old. And because I was like emotionally shut down since 12, I had no emotional progress, emotional growth, maturation. And now it's like my nervous system is that of a 25-year-old, and it took a toll. I've aged so much, which, you know, I have to, you know, it's something I have to do to heal and to live that life. But it's I'm making progress. It's very slowly. You don't really see the progress until, you know, a lot later in life, so it's okay. I am growing into who I was always meant to be and to my true self, and I'm happy with the progress, my slow progress. And I know what I want at 27. I know what I want my life: slow, stillness, you know, work from home, which I'm going to talk to my employer because I think we do have work from home, but work from home job. I'm trying to move right now because my rent is $1,200. I'm trying to get it to $600 or $800, and then just really work on, just keep on healing and slowly build that life I want. You know, I want to create, so slowly, you know, look into, I don't know, but I know where I'm healing into the life that was always made for me. So, and it's the opposite of what I've always wanted, but that's because it's my trauma personality, trauma characteristic, trauma lifestyle. So I'm happy, and yeah.